Welcome to Wide Angle Conversations, an initiative of Life by Design with Taruna Aggarwal. This is Season 3, and we have invited guests whose work reflects their passion for a more inclusive and equal world. My guest today is Kalaivani Fernando. She is an educator and founding director of Vasantham Vision Trust, an NGO based in Sri Lanka. Hi Vani, welcome to Wide Angle Conversation Season 3.
Hi Taruna, and thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure, Vani. Vani, you're doing so many things. You're teaching, that's your profession in Singapore, and you have a busy household with twins who are turning 7 soon.
Yes, that's right.
And then you have your social work in Sri Lanka, which is totally, encompassing you. That to me is very inspiring, and at your age.
Thank you.
Right. So tell us a little bit about your work in Sri Lanka.
So I run Vasantham Vision Trust in Sri Lanka,
Right.
and we do quite a number of initiatives, and most are for female empowerment and for children as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we run self-defense programs for females, mostly for schoolgirls and NGO workers. And we also run an English literacy program, which is basically using the learner's mother tongue to learn English, and it's a self-directed form of learning.
Right.
And we also have an auto rickshaw mobile library.
Oh,
yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot of things you've been involved in, but this auto rickshaw library, tell me a little bit about this.
One day I saw this, bakery, the auto rickshaw bakery passing by, and I thought, that would be perfect to bring books to children in rural areas, especially where, roads are really bad.
Yeah.
And so I converted an auto rickshaw into a library, and we sourced out for books that were appropriate and relevant for the children, bilingual books. And we stocked up, and now we reach out to about 2,500 children a month.
Oh, wow. That's a lot. That's a lot of children, huh?
Yes, that's right.
And so is it that you visit schools or?
Yeah, so we go to schools on a daily basis. So we have the approval from the Director for Education, and we work closely with schools and organizations as well.
Yeah. Okay. Right. And so when you're taking the books to them, you're opening the world to them.
That's right, yes. And it has been extremely successful, and we are going to have more of these auto rickshaw mobile libraries in other parts.
That's wonderful. And then you were talking about the literacy program that you're running, the English literacy program. You were running it in a small area, and then now you've launched it across the nation. Yeah. What motivated you to do that?
So initially, when we started the literacy program, it was because I realized that, many of these children in rural areas, they didn't have teachers who could teach them English. There was a shortage of manpower, and they were finding it increasingly difficult to learn English as well. So we rolled out this program that, teaches them English, using their mother tongue, which is Tamil, and Sinhala as well. Right. And it's self-directed, which means you don't need a teacher, and they can learn online using a phone or using a tablet. And also the program is designed to teach them English in just 30 days. And this was extremely successful, and children, their reading levels went up in 30 days.
Wow.
So especially in this situation of COVID, where access to learning has also become limited, and children aren't able to attend schools,
right.
While we are all scrambling, teaching our children online, and they have access to this whole lot of resources.
Right.
There are children in these areas who have not been back to school, and they have not learned actually for a few months.
Yeah.
So we are in the process of rolling out this program nationwide, and just so that we can avert a huge educational meltdown.
Right.
And this huge digital divide that makes it very difficult to bring these resources to children.
What took you to Sri Lanka?
So it was actually the post-tsunami time. And when I went to Sri Lanka, this was immediately after graduating from uni. I went to Sri Lanka with a couple of my friends. And it was, it was not something that I planned to do, get into volunteering with organizations. But I just happened to be there and I, volunteered. I worked with a few organizations. And I really felt I was privileged and blessed to be born in Singapore and brought up here.
True.
And I saw people who were even, they didn't even have Panadol. And I thought about all the times that, I just took one tablet from the doctor and just threw the rest away. And I felt really guilty. And I wanted to do a lot more. So instead of just volunteering with various organizations, I wanted to reach out to them in the way that I knew how, and that was through education. And as an educator, I thought of, how I could possibly, try to make learning more accessible to people in these rural areas. And that's why I started various initiatives based on the gaps that I saw.
Right. So that makes me, ask you a curious question. How much time did you spend in Sri Lanka to kind of to do all this research and everything? Of course, COVID has actually stopped the travel, but before that, how much of your time were you spending there?
Actually, I'm there 2 months once.
Every 2 months?
That's right. And in November, December, I'm there for like a whole month at a stretch. So in June as well. So I'm there 2 months once, and even sometimes when there are shorter holidays, I'm even there for a weekend or 3 days because, although we have field workers, I always like to be personally involved with whatever we are carrying out.
Wonderful. And so COVID has kind of restricted you and then you're not able to travel.
So COVID has restricted my travel. But it has not, restricted our work.
Absolutely.
So we have found other ways of doing work, and our staff there as well. They have been really, enthusiastic and energetic, and about doing things differently. And also with this major, implementation of the literacy program as well. That is something that I can do from here, and I don't necessarily have to be there.
Right. So Vani, you're actually created something so beautiful, and your inclusivity and equal opportunity for all is something that you are actually doing every step of the way.
Thank you.
Right. So what are your strengths actually? Okay, passion and purpose, I can sense that very strongly as you speak about your work. But what are the other attributes that contributed to your success?
So I'm actually quite persistent. So when I want to do something, I'm quite persistent in getting it done, even though I might have challenges or obstacles. And also I believe action really speaks louder than words. So when I think of something, I will try to find ways to implement it because for me, besides the whole idea, the implementation is very, very crucial.
True.
So and also I've been lucky to meet like-minded people as well. So it has been easy for me to implement things on the ground because of that.
Well, you make it sound so easy, but I'm sure there were many challenges.
Yes,
that
most definitely. Yes.
So what is the biggest challenge that you faced in your journey so far?
My biggest challenge, I wouldn't say it was with regards to my foundation work, but I think personally my biggest challenge in life would be when I was pregnant with my twins, I lost my mother. So I gave birth to my children 5 months after she passed away, and my mother has had a huge impact in my life, and everything that I am today is really because she has molded me as such. And it was hard for me because you lose the role of a daughter and you take on the role of a mother. And she's the one person whom I really wanted her to be around to see my children grow up. and also, erase them in the same way that she raised me. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. But also, I turned that challenge around because I chose to focus on life rather than the loss. And that's also the point in time where I really went into my work in Sri Lanka, and I wanted to do a lot more for the people who are still living and who wanted to live.
That's a beautiful thought, right? And I'm sure your mother is like, she's seeing you and she's very, you are living in how she brought you up, and she must be proud of that.
I hope so.
And you are an inspiration and a great role model for so many people. And what would be your biggest accomplishment?
My biggest accomplishment will definitely be my auto rickshaw library, because I do believe that you don't need millions of dollars and grand projects, to consider something a huge success. It's about, your reach, how many people have benefited. And I'm really proud of this because, I was discouraged from implementing this, and I had to approach, the director of education to give us permission to work with the schools.
Okay.
And he, very outrightly discouraged me. He said, keep your money, spend it on yourself. Children here will not read, I know. And I had to sit there for 2 hours listening to him discourage me. And at the end, I told him, I just need your approval. So when can I get it from you? And, the kind of initially, principals, we had to call them up and ask them, can we come? And, we are coming tomorrow. And they used to be a little hesitant, but now we have principals giving us a call and asking us if we can make, visits twice a week. So it's not only about the reach, but a change in mentality.
That's true.
And I consider that my biggest, accomplishment.
That's wonderful. I can see your energy shift, and you're also bubbly and very passionately you talk about it.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. It's important to bring out such stories, of such inspirational stories for other people. And I am actually grateful that I could hear your story and I could bring it to the world. And you're totally, truly deserving of the Sikhi Indian Woman with a Heart Award.
I'm also very grateful for that opportunity by Sikhi. Because it gave me an opportunity to meet so many women who are doing so many inspiring things. And I believe last year was the first year that they had the Indian Woman of the Year awards.
Okay.
And it was a time where, we could see so many people, so many Indian women in the community doing so many different things. And it was a great exposure to the kind of work that people were doing. Right. And that platform was also useful for me because people got to know about the work that we were doing in Sri Lanka, and it also helped us to connect and network with people who could, help us in terms of running our initiatives there. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity.
Right. So truly, Vani, there are many people who may want to be contributing in some way to get to involved in the work that you're doing. So how do they reach out to you?
They can actually reach out to us via Facebook. So we have our Vasantham Vision Trust Facebook page.
Okay.
And, people don't always have to contribute in terms, every time they think of contribution, they think in terms of, making a monetary donation. But contribution also comes in terms of skills, time, and, whatever they can do to help.
Yeah. I'm sure there are many people looking out for that. And after our conversation, I'm sure many people will approach you because you're doing really amazing work. And thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. We'd like to hear from you, so do leave your comments and questions. We'll see you next week. Until then, stay safe.